Hi there, welcome back to the 12 days of Christmas in July at our little handmade home. We're all the way up to day 7 already, and we're going to be spending the next couple of days at the sewing machine getting a few projects ready for the kitchen. The first one up is holiday pot holders. They're a little hard to see against my black sweater. I'm going to show you how quickly and easily you can make these cute holiday pot holders using nothing but a layer cake and some Insulbright lining. So let's get started. Today we are headed back into the kitchen and we're going to be making some pot holders. So what I have here is most of a layer cake. Over the years I have pulled a few pieces out to use on different projects, but for the most part it's intact. So what we're going to start with is 4 pieces out of the layer cake. You want, for the front of your 2 pot holders, 2 prints that are going to coordinate but enough contrast that you can see the difference. And then I like to have 2 pieces for the back that are the same. So I've chosen this because I have 2 of them. So with these 4 pieces, we're going to be able to make 2 complete pot holders. And these really do go together very, very well. So I have here my rotating cutting mat. We're going to set our backing pieces aside for right now. And we're going to look at the 2 front pieces. So what we're going to be doing is creating pinwheels. And the way to do that, the quickest and easiest way to do that, is to take your 2 pieces, lay them right sides together so you can see the 2 of them going together. Line up your edges and stitch them all the way around. Don't leave any openings, just stitch all 4 sides closed. So we'll do that and we'll be right back with the next step. So once you have sewn all the way around your edges, make sure you press and set your seams, and then use your cutting mat to line it up on diagonals and make sure that you're going to have a halfway point. So these of course are 10-inch squares. So I'm going to be cutting at the 6-inch line from here, and I'm going to be cutting on the diagonal. So we're going to be making 4 cuts all together. So the first one we're going to do is straighten down the middle. And then we're going to do this diagonal. And then I'm going to spin my cutting mat. And I'm going to repeat the same steps. So I'm going to cut straight across the middle. And try not to move the fabric at all. So I'm going to go up here and the diagonal. Once you've cut all your pieces, we're going to open them up and press them. Now, it doesn't matter which direction you press them, just make sure that they're going the same direction. I like to press mine towards the darkest fabric, and if you always press towards the same fabric, then they're going to nest together very well. So go ahead and take these over to your iron, set the seams, and press them all open. So when you open your pieces up, you're going to see that you'll have 2 types of triangles. You're going to have some with the black or the one print on this side and some with it going this direction. So separate them out because that's how you're going to make your 2 pinwheels. Then we're going to take these pieces and we're going to put them together to create our pinwheels. Now, as you can see, when you go to sew these together, because you've pressed everything towards the same fabric, those are going to nest in just perfectly, and they're going to give you the points that you're looking for. So you want to stitch these two together here, these two together here, and then we're going to fold it in half and stitch there. You can trim these corners now, or you can trim them after. So once they're sewn this way, go ahead and nest them together and sew along this long edge. So as you can see, we've got a nice, neat pinwheel, and then you're going to go ahead and repeat that for these 4 pieces. So once you've sewn these completely together, go ahead and trim off the extra corners. And then we're going to get it ready to layer with our batting. So we're going to take 1 piece of the backing for each of these. We're going to take the batting of your choice. Now I've chosen to use Insulbrite because I want that extra thickness. I'm going to be using these pot holders for hot dishes at the holiday time, which is why I'm making them a little bigger as well. We're going to layer them like that. We're going to put this in the center, and then go ahead and quilt it any way you like to attach front to back. This is a sample of one that I did earlier, and I did the stitching in white just so that you could see how you could get that going. So just really, you just have to hold it in place, and then once you've done the quilting of your choice, we're going to go ahead and put a binding on. Of course, you can finish these any way you like. You could do a self-binding, you could use bias tape, you could do all sorts of things. But we're going to go ahead and put a standard binding on these once we're finished. So as you can see, I've chosen to just do a very basic line. This is all that you really need for quilting on this. So now I'm going to trim down my square. I'm going to make my binding. So in order to make my binding for this, because this is such a small area, I don't want a huge thick binding. So what I'm going to do is take another piece of layer cake, and I'm going to cut it into 2-inch strips, and then I'm going to attach it at the ends, and that'll give me enough to go all the way around. So as you can see, you can quickly and easily pull a few pieces out of a layer cake, and in no time at all have some lovely holiday pot holders to add to your kitchen. Thanks again for joining me for day 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas in July here at our little handmade home. As always, the links are down below. I'll be sure to link to other projects that you may have missed up until now. And be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow when we're going to have another sewing project for the dining room. I'll see you then.